It's really great to be here. I get to give a lot of presentations and teach a lot of classes, but I don't always get to do it to such an interesting audience. So I'm very happy to be here today. And I'm going to talk about political advertising. It may be something that some of you wish was fiction or was a movie, but is actually playing out in real time in the real world right now. So we have, to date, about 750,000 political ads that have been shown on television in the service of the 2016 presidential election. I care about this because sometimes people say things like this. They'll pick a single ad and they'll say it's going to deliver the killing punch or a devastating blow. And so we take these single moments in campaigns and we make them into game changers for the entire election. We, as political scientists, know that this probably isn't true. A quarter of the ads that we've seen so far in this cycle have been made by super PACs, very, very few by dark money super PACs, but a quarter by some type of super PAC. And, in case you haven't been paying attention, people hate super PACs. Okay, so we don't like them, they're making ads, and then sometimes reporters say things like this. The effects of super PAC ads proved to be less effective than expected. And so this story is only 3 days after the previous story. So on the 5th of November, before the election in 2012, the sort of conventional wisdom was that the ads were going to deliver the killing blow to Mitt Romney. And then after the election, when Romney loses, all of a sudden the ads did not have their anticipated effect. And there's a lot of people, including ad makers, who think that super PAC ads are actually less effective because they can't coordinate with the candidates. So they don't get to know the candidates, they can't authentically portray them in the ads. So this isn't just sort of confirming the fact that Romney lost. There is a sense from the people who make ads that PACs might be at a disadvantage. So these were all of the things that motivated this project. What do we really know about the effects of ads? So we've done a lot of observational work on the effects of advertising. So people advertise in different places, at different levels, and we get imbalances. And so we have polls in the field at the same time. When there's an ad imbalance, we can see the effect on the polls. So we've done a lot of that, and the takeaway is basically, no matter what level of election it is, the effects of advertisements are very small, and they go away very fast. So small and fleeting. But we wanted to dig a little bit deeper than that, and we wanted to know, does the quality of the ad matter? Does the content of the ad matter? Not just the volume, not just an ad imbalance, but what about all of the hard work that the ad makers put into actually making the ad? Does that have any effect? And we wanted to do a little bit to try to figure out why the effects decay so rapidly. And we had 3 things in mind. People forget. Another ad comes in and it neutralizes the message of the previous ad, or another ad comes in and simply displaces the content. It's not about the same thing, it's just something different, and now we're focused on that different thing. So that's a little bit of the science of what's happening in this project, but that's not the part that we put online and that we do reporting on. We're going to keep that a little bit more simple. So Spot Check is a 1,000-person weekly randomized experiment. It's sort of a virtual focus room, a focus group in the cloud. And it is done in partnership with 3 very, very generous data providers, YouGov, which is a survey research firm in Palo Alto, G2 Analytics, and Sage Engage, which are allowing us to do the real-time emotional measure of the ads. Those are both DC startups. And so these guys have come on board with this project and have been very generous in providing their services at a highly discounted rate, or we couldn't afford to do this. Funding for the project is from the Carnegie Corporation, UCLA, and Vanderbilt University, where my co-author, John Geer, works. Okay, so here's what we do. We are basically delivering these 1,000 people who are in the YouGov panel impaneled. They're chosen to be representative of the US population, and we're basically giving them a survey. We get them a little warmed up. A good survey is a good conversation, so we get them talking a little bit, and then we tell them we're interested in having them react to some things that are in the news recently. And we randomly assign people to see 1 of 2 political ads. The control group sees the Nationwide Insurance ad with Peyton Manning singing. If it were just, me and you, I'd sing it for you, but I'm not going to sing it for all of you. So if I did, though, you'd say, like, oh, yeah, I've seen that ad. So that's the control group is seeing a non-political ad. And then we have different treatment groups that are seeing the ads paired together so we can test some of those displacement and neutralization hypotheses. But I'm not going to talk about that today. So this is what they see. This is the widget that allows people to react to the ad. And we say if you see or hear something you like, click on the plus, and if you see or hear something you don't like, click on the minus sign. And people can do that as many times as they want over the entire course of the ad. So here's an example of an ad that we tested, and I'll let you guys watch it, and then I'll show you how this works.
Bimbo.
Dog.
Fat pig.
Real quotes from Donald Trump about women.
A person who is very flat-chested is very hard to be a 10.
I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers.
Look at that face. Would anyone vote for that?
She had the height, she had the beauty. She was crazy, but these are minor details.
I like kids. I mean, I won't do anything to take care of them. I'll supply funds, and she'll take care of the kids.
You know, it really doesn't matter what they write, as long as you've got a young and beautiful piece of ass.
That must be a pretty picture, you dropping to your knees.
There was blood coming out of her eyes. Blood coming out of her wherever.
Women, you have to treat them like
This is how Donald Trump talks about our mothers, our sisters.
Our daughters.
If you believe America deserves better, vote against Donald Trump. Our Principles PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Okay, so people are watching that ad, and they're clicking on the plus if they hear something they like, and the minus if they hear something they don't like. And then we take all that data, and we can draw something like this. And so the blue line are the second-by-second counts of the number of people who hit the plus sign, and the gold line is the number of people who are hitting the minus sign. So you can see here that people are mostly hearing things in this ad that they don't like. And that's what you would expect. This is an ad, it's an attack ad, and it's an attack ad that has content in it that people shouldn't like. Okay, so that is the emotional engagement with the advertisement. Do people click at all? Sometimes we see just flat lines. People aren't really drawn into the ad. So do people click at all? And then what's the balance of the reaction look like? So we take that, and then we combine it with a whole bunch of survey questions on net favorability and the change in favorability. And we put those together and we give each ad a score. And basically, for the sake of time, a positive score means that the ad has some emotional engagement and it drives the respondent in the intended direction. So this quotes ad moved people in the right direction. It raised Trump's unfavorables and lowered his favorables. And this Hillary Clinton ad that was made by Shonda Rhimes and had the stars from the Shonda Rhimes TV shows in it, that was a promotional ad about strong women, actually drove people in the unintended direction. So it lowered Clinton's favorables and raised her negatives. So we show all of this data on the website. We ask people, did the ad make you happy, hopeful, angry, or worried? Here you can see the quotes ad made people angry and worried relative to the Clinton ad, which didn't make them as angry or worried, as you might expect. So you can scroll through all the results. We show you the favorability ratings, control group in the middle. And so here's, for the quote ad, Donald Trump's unfavorable at 59%, and the quotes ad is over here. His unfavorables go up to 64 relative to the other ad, which his unfavorables stay the same. So you can compare the treatment to control, do a little experimental analysis there. And then we have, every week, we show you the pairs that we're doing, and we put them all on the website, so you can go and click through and see any of the pairings we've tested and look at the data, both the emotional engagement and then the experimental comparisons to the control group. In terms of the narrative, then I take the data and I'll write a piece like this for the upshot about how we tested this quotes ad before Donald Trump made his comments about women who get illegal abortions going to jail. He says this, and I thought, oh gosh, like we got to go back into the field with those gender ads. And so we did. And when we went back into the field, Trump is out there saying that Clinton's playing the woman card, she makes her woman card. Gender is really primed at this point in the context of the election. We retested these ads, and the effectiveness of this quotes ad went way up. The effectiveness of the Shonda Rhimes ad also went up. It becomes positive and has effects in the intended direction. So what about the impact? And then I'll finish up here quickly. So, you know, I don't want to claim that the work that we've done has convinced the Clinton campaign or groups advertising on her behalf that they should be doing this too. But weeks after this ad came out and we were talking about its effectiveness, in the media, Priorities USA made their version of this ad. Now it's a little bit different, and I'm going to play it for you so you can see why it's different.
You know, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever. Does she have a good body? No. Does she have a fat ass? Absolutely.
You like girls that are 5'1", they come up to you know where.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
I view a person who's flat-chested is very hard to be a 10.
And you can tell them to go themselves.
Does Donald Trump really speak for you? Priorities USA Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Okay, so when we first heard this ad, we thought, wow, Trump in his own voice saying all those offensive things, it's going to have twice the impact. And what's actually happening is it's backfiring a little bit. It has a high level of emotional engagement. People are engaging with it in the intended way, but it's really boosting Trump's favorables. So very strange. And, you know, a couple hypotheses. As political scientists, we think about things that prime party identification and send you running back to your home base, to your party base. So we get a lot of hypotheses about this. Also, you know, we want to say that 1,000 people sounds like a lot of people. We got a lot of data, but it's not a lot of data. And so there's sampling variability and noise to think about too. So we'll rerun this again, and we'll do it a couple more times and see what happens. But just as sort of interesting, an interesting result that using Trump in his own voice, you think would boost the effectiveness of this content, and yet it doesn't seem to. Thank you very much.